Yo, what is going on? My name is Sweet Phil, and today I'm giving you a tip for Diablo 2 Resurrected that's going to save your brain from melting here when you're watching these load screens here in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Now, everybody knows about when you go down to fight Duriel, sometimes people will be getting hit before the screen even fully loads because it would take so long. Well, there's actually things you can do about it here in the options menu in order to get your screens to load faster. So here we are. This is online as well. Now, I have kind of a budgeter computer. I say it's kind of a mid-range for the graphics card anyways, so I lowered the frame rate cap in order to get my stream to run smoother, because running the game, the stream, music, a stream preview, having different windows open, it was too much for my computer. My stream was getting choppy, and you'll see in a second here, my actual OBS gets choppy when I increase the frame rate. So I went down, I got it set at 30 right now, and I have this VSync checked. I think it was checked automatically right off the bat. So let's go ahead and watch the load screen there, just so you can get a handle of about how long it takes jumping between these two particular ones. At different points in the game, the load times will be different, maybe jumping between certain waypoints. I don't know why individual waypoints would have different load speeds necessarily, but they are. You can see this one's taking quite a while. And another good example I like to go to is Act 1, flying between waypoints, because once you do these changes, it is so fast, it is incredibly noticeable. You see these are pretty quick, quicker than the ones in Act 5, but you can still see have time to watch the doors open and stuff like that. Now, the very first one that you're going to want to look at is the vertical sync, the V-sync. Go to options here, and this is checked. If you do not need it checked, uncheck that now. That thing is the #1 reason, in my opinion, that I see here on the load screen times, and I'm not exactly sure why, but we'll jump to the Frigid Highlands here and back and forth so you get an idea. It's looking about the same on the load times, but when you put it in combination with the next thing I'm going to tell you, you're really going to notice. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to Act 1 real quick, just so you get an idea of seeing the load screen time, so you know I'm not BSing you here. See, I'm going to jump between these waypoints. The load times, not bad. It does look a little bit quicker. Nothing crazy, but then on the next one here, if you can get this frame rate to uncapped, this is going to be the fastest load times. Now, you're going to see a little bit of lag in my OBS possibly because I have a budget computer. You can see it lagging a little bit now, but on my screen, this is so snappy, it is insane. If you can set your game to run with an uncapped frame rate, it is so incredibly fast in load times. I have no idea why, and I know the OBS is looking a little choppy, but that's not what it looks like on my screen. I'm guessing you're not going to be streaming, or if you are, hopefully you have a better computer. But I even have a budget computer. I paid $130 for my graphics card. It's only a 4 gig one, if that means anything to you. But try and lower the frame rate down to as high as you can. I'm going to set it at 120. I mean, most of us have 60 hertz, so 60 frame a second monitors, so you don't need it that high. Now, even at 120 here, my computer's still lagging up a bit. So we'll put it down to the 60 that I usually run it at. And we'll go ahead and watch it with that vertical sync off and at 60 frames a second. Now the OBS is recording smooth. It always looked smooth on my screen, but OBS couldn't quite handle OBS and the game at the same time. We'll go ahead and check out the Act 1 flying between these waypoints and watch how quick these go. It's not too bad. It was faster with the uncapped, but just a little bit. Really, if you can handle 60 frames a second and the V-sync turned off, the vertical sync, you will be A-okay. That is awesome. Now, just for example, watch this. I'm going to lower it down to the lowest frame rate. The lower the frame rate goes, the longer the load screens will be. So you've seen it on 30 frames a second. This is painful. What you're seeing is actually what I'm seeing. It is 8 frames a second. But watch how slow these load screens are. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to look at it. I'm only going to go to a couple. You can see it right here, how slow this is. Pretty much what I've noticed, in my opinion, what I've seen from examples here is 30 frames a second lower. No bueno. Don't do that. You need to get at least 60 frames a second in order for it to be smooth. And since most monitors are 60 frames a second anyways, some people have 144s. I get it. I understand. Hopefully you have a good enough computer to output that good of frames. And like I said, mine runs smooth at uncapped, but it does not record and stream smooth. It might be a problem with me and my OBS. I'm not an expert on everything in recording and making videos. But we'll go ahead and jump to single player real quick, and I'm going to show you how snappy they're even faster on single player. Now here we are, single player, and check out the snappiness of this. Now let's make sure I got it set. It stayed the same for single player. It sure is. Boom, boom. Pretty similar to the online, so it's almost no different. I mean, I honestly think it is even a little bit faster on single player. Switching between acts takes a second, but look how quickly these ones load now. Boom, 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 boom. So that's right. Make sure you just have that vertical sync turned off, and make sure you have your frame rates set at 60 frames per second cap or higher. Really having it up to the uncapped is absolutely optimal, but it depends on what kind of rig you got. So hopefully that will help you eliminate those load times here. If it does, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe up. Make sure you check out one of these other videos right up over here. I know you're going to like them. So peace out, YouTube. Hopefully I catch you next video. Don't forget, keep slaying.